blue sky, but we can do that. We were having interesting convo, so I realized we needed to hit the button. And hello.
Hello.
We're talking about Taylor Swift. Yeah, we were talking. Oh God, I don't even know how to catch y'all up on this. Just know you're coming in midstream of a convo about Taylor Swift because I guess she got engaged. But I don't know if you listen to Folklore or Evermore.
Okay, I will lie. I was about to say I will lie. I'm not gonna lie. I do like Folklore. I listen to Evermore, and that one didn't jam for me. But Folklore is definitely my white woman album. Where
Yeah.
I picture myself, like the Nicole Kidman, like out in the forest grabbing my
my
cardigan, and I'm like.
So I think of those as basically two sides of the same album, like a two-sided.
It's the same. More,
and it was a
bigger departure from her other work, like less.
And then I liked Midnights because it felt like she took the production from a Folklore and Evermore and put it onto her traditional like shtick. In a way that I thought was pretty good. But the one from last year I thought was just like a huge
I only listened to a couple, like from like TikTok and stuff. And of course there's lots of songs that are, of course, they're just catchy.
Yeah, I think she's very talented. So, I don't
that's like saying Katy Perry wasn't in her bag in that first album, okay? First two albums.
Well, but Katy Perry I think has way less range.
Oh, well, yeah, I said her first two albums.
Yeah.
It was in her bag. I'm never one to deny a good, like, it's called pop for a reason. Like, popular, it's catchy, it's fun. I just don't, again, I don't understand at grown age a celebrity obsession. Like, I used to have it in my youth. Hello, we, buying magazines to get a poster of the Backstreet Boys. Yes. I loved Britney Spears. Like, I understand it then, but now the amount of adults, like fully formed frontal lobe adults.
I mean, I'm imagining that there's probably think pieces about how some of what Taylor Swift has is just kind of a blandness to her that allows people to project a lot onto her. And I that sounds like a read. It's not. Like, I think she's just kind of a like regular person.
Yes, she's a very, like, outside of her wealth.
Yeah, just
outside of her wealth, she was like, this is not to be rude, but she's not like this unique, stunning beauty. She doesn't have like some amazing dancing talent. Her vocals are fine. Her songwriting is fine. So I
think she's a very talented songwriter, and I think she writes things that connect with people, and that's great. But I don't think she has like a ton of. I think her appeal is her projectability. Like, I think a lot of people project themselves onto her and enjoy that, which I don't necessarily think is like a problem, but it doesn't. I don't have that relationship with her.
I don't find celebrities relatable because I'm like,
I don't relate.
You fly on a private jet to get from one side of LA to the other one. I'm like, let me look at this flight deal. Do I fly at 4:30 a.m. because it's gonna save me $150? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I have celebrities I really enjoy.
Yes. I mean, I have my
favorite, but less and less over time because like you said, I think as you grow up. That being said, I would say my celebrities that I'm really into now are like Dropout people. I certainly have some parasocial stuff happening there. I'm very excited for Pother Beardsley, who just had their baby. So I get, I'm far be it from me to be into having parasocial connection with people, but like that kind of traditional celebrity is less so where I get my parasocial stuff. And it's more from like online entertainment stuff is where I have more parasocialness.
Because mine, like Adele is my favorite singer, and I've seen her twice. But like, I think my biggest issue, and especially this overlaps with like the book community, will be people who love to talk about all the things that we should talk about that are important, about things that are going on, about reading diversely, about blah, 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 blah. But there's no critique for her. I'm like, she put out that documentary that one time, and now y'all hold that as like the gold standard of like, she is the peak of feminism and she cares about everything because she said she had that one little documentary one time. I'm like, she's still a billionaire. She doesn't, and I don't think you should need a celeb. Like, I feel so torn on the celebrity speak up thing. I feel like it's not black and white, but it just at this point, what does she have to lose? Like, somebody made a video saying she is, because with her buying all her masters, all of her production thing, she has control over that. She is one of those people who literally there is nothing to lose because
No.
she has so much money, she would be fine.
I have to say, yeah, the more I watched, like, okay, chaperone, ups and downs.
Mhm.
At least you can give to her that she, when was a brand new debut artist, spoke out about Palestine. Look at what's happening to Miss Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess to me, it's more just like if you had that level of a platform, it says something that you wouldn't want to say something.
Yeah.
That's more, and especially when like, what can Beyonce or Taylor Swift do to alienate their people?
Nothing.
Seems like
Because they
nothing.
already can do whatever they want now. It's like,
So
you're not gonna lose.
yeah,
Okay, maybe a brand doesn't deal with you. Oh darn, you're out another $1 million, but you'll be fine.
and
It's
a
not.
different brand will be thrilled to work with you
Yeah,
instead. Like I just,
it's
it's
not a
like there
regular
is
person.
nothing for you to lose. So
It,
why? It
exactly.
feels like genocide has to be the exception, but
It's just
maybe
like you would think. You
maybe
would think,
not.
but it's just like it's not a regular person who would like I don't know lose their job or something that other people have
Yeah,
experienced. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, and I'm still a song will come on and I'm like, me look, my December or back to December, I get my feelings.
yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy it. But yeah, it's just this weird like I love Adele, but if it's the weird like you can like something and also critique it, which I feel like Swifties don't
Mhm.
believe you can do. They're like, no.
Yeah.
Don't talk about
You
her.
can like something, you can critique it. Also, like, not everything is for everyone, and that's
Mhm,
also okay. And
mhm.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
Mm.
all that to say, yes, I did hear she was engaged, but I did not realize who you were talking about when you first asked me.
Oh, apparently her thing, because I saw a thing of the post, because of course I don't follow them, and I guess she said your English teacher got engaged to the gym teacher or something, and I'm like English teacher. I don't know, but
She's a poet, Jess.
oh, I forgot.
Yeah. Um, I just
New-
hope that they don't get married in Nashville because that will be miserable.
Oh God, new album coming out and football season. Coinky dink, I think not.
Mhm.
Anyway, how's
Yeah.
everyone doing?
So I am having hot girl tummy troubles. So I am gonna set a timer. Brace yourself for in about an hour, you're gonna hear an iPhone alarm go off, and that's gonna give us all trauma. And I apologize for that. That's
It's
just
better than a Teams message. Woo!
yeah, yeah,
That still triggers me.
yeah.
And
But today we just reminded me we needed to do a docket update on all of our cases
we're
that we are
experts
covering.
because
Which
you
we
come
always,
here for expert coverage and opinions.
yes, you surely do. So I think the three we'll definitely hit on are Karen Reed, Koberger, and Lori Vallow.
Yes.
So maybe do you want to start with catching people up on Karen Reed and
Yeah.
what's happened since you
Oh my God.
brought her to the table?
So much because I think what is time? I don't know. But I think we first like the full episode that we did dedicated to it, I feel like
It was
it was
after it was right after her first trial.
first trial. Okay.
Yeah.
So she had a second one because the Commonwealth of Massachusetts said we didn't waste enough taxpayer money.
Yeah, we really needed to make sure that every single Massachusetts contributed at least $5 to this
Yeah.
case.
You're none of you are getting out of this unscathed and you will give us your money and we are going to take our terrible evidence and our witnesses and we're going to do this again. And they did and it was lengthy. They had the same raggedy judge, Beverly Canoni.
Oh, that's right.
One day we're going to have covered enough to have like our top 5. We're gonna do a top 5 worst judges and top 5 best.
Yeah, we're gonna have like we could do like a tier ranking of the
Yeah,
judges that we have come to know from all
yeah,
of these different states. I think we're honestly pretty close to where we could do that
yeah.
already.
It's sad. She was so blatant in her favoritism of the prosecution over the defense. And there was just so much. It's really too much. I'm trying to keep it brief.
Yeah.
But things like the lead investigator on the case was fired earlier this year. Michael
Yep.
Proctor, who had sent disgusting texts about Karen Reed.
He was also on the Brian Walsh case with with all those Google searches about dismembering his wife. Do you remember that one?
Oh my God, what?
Apparently now, because Proctor was on that, there was like, I didn't see what the outcome was, but there was like a whole hearing about if that
I
evidence was going to
forgot
get
about
thrown
that guy.
out.
Okay,
If that terror gets off because of
oh
effing
my
Proctor.
God. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah.
Michael Proctor sucks. Apparently he's trying to get his job back. No.
Yeah.
Part of the second trial, like there was so much, like they readmitted a lot of the same evidence and had, people came back. Jen McCabe, I think, was one of the worst witnesses for the prosecution.
Yeah.
She just like they found information out of like a group text that she had sent with her husband and 2 of the other people who were at the house saying, I wrote it down, that if she pleads out, it will end. If not, if she fights it, it will be an episode. And they just like all of her information, her inconsistencies with her phone searches when they got to the scene, all of the stuff. Karen Reed's team did an awesome job. So the
They
team
did.
LDR.
Yeah.
She was found not guilty of second-degree murder and leaving the scene of injury and death. She was found guilty for operating a vehicle under the influence of liquor, but they just gave her a year probation.
Yeah.
And
it was clear that was the defense strategy, was to get,
yes.
like, I mean, I don't think they probably could have technically denied it, but I think it helped their credibility to be like, yeah, sure. Okay.
Yes.
She shouldn't have been driving.
But the amount, like, there's so much on the case. So if you're like, there's so many videos, just because the amount of foolishness that was involved in this case, it looks like it was so clearly a cover up from the
top to tip.
Literally the entire, all of the bureaucracy in the state of all of the way they're collecting evidence. They made it seem like it was just so impossible out of the way to go like get actual things to put evidence in. So they're collecting blood
for a dead police person.
Yeah.
No
they're
way.
Writing notes down on their arm. You don't got no note. You don't got no notepad. Just the foolishness that what they tried to say happened. And I'm very happy for her, because that, just watching that just makes me terrified. I'm like, we can sit through all of this, because again, it's about within, what is it, without a shadow of a doubt, with reasonable doubt, what do you say?
Beyond all reasonable doubt.
Yes. I'm like sitting here like, no, this is not. So I'm glad. I don't know how she paid for those attorneys. I know there might have been a GoFundMe or something.
I think
they weren't cheap.
Yeah, I think that she did some fundraising.
Especially twice.
Well, first of all, I think that the way to not be in this situation is to not date a cop. That's honestly the worst thing she did, in my opinion, was to date a cop.
And I hope she has learned from that.
And I think she learned from that.
The old boy.
Yeah.
John. I'm sorry, I should know the name of the deceased.
John. I think we do know it. We're just on the spot. But that was her biggest crime. So don't date a cop. But also,
John
like, it was O'Keefe. Yes, that's it.
John O'Keefe.
We knew that. And honestly, big condolences to the O'Keefe family, because I don't think we will ever know what actually really happened. And like, it's entirely possible that it was completely an accident. And there's really no way to know, because
but yeah, all of the people who do know are so intertwined and entrenched with each other that they're like,
there's no compromise. Like, they're
not going to, the family's not going to know, which is really sad.
That is really sad. And I don't blame them for being mad at her, because like, that's a place to take that anger out. Like, I get it from their perspective. And I feel
you're like, well, this was presented to me and I want to see somebody pay for what happened, but like, it's not worth it for somebody.
Yeah, we can't just send someone to jail because you're mad.
Are they still suing her?
I know that there was a big hearing to throw something out, so I don't know, but yeah,
'Cause
there's
I was
still
trying to
civil
look up
litigation.
to see what a recent thing was, but there's so many videos. The latest thing I saw that apparently Elizabeth Banks is going to play Karen Reed in an Amazon limited series. I'm like,
Of course. Well, maybe she sold the rights to her story, and that's part of how she's paying for those
hey,
lawyers.
now that.
So, but I will say the things that shocked me, one were that they found one of the prosecution's witnesses, the defense found out that he was lying about his credentials.
Oh yes.
That was pretty shocking. Oh God, what else? The prosecutor lied to the jury about a piece of evidence and tried to say that like a hole had been made by, I think, like the car crash, but it was actually a hole from the crime lab, and he knew that. That was pretty shocking. Um,
Which piece of was that, the tail light or
I think it was like a piece of his clothing or something that I guess the crime lab had like cut part of.
oh.
I forget exactly the details, but like the fact, yeah, I feel like the prosecutor either outright or tiptoed up to the line of lying
Mm.
several times, and Bev did nothing about it, which was pretty shocking.
Gee, what a the
Yeah.
amount of things like they would Karen's
Yeah,
defense
there we go.
team asking valid questions, valid like, and she would, how
Yeah, I
much longer is this gonna take?
well,
Damn.
yeah, and her remedy was always like, "Well, in lieu of ruling for you, I will allow you robust cross-examination," and it's you, uh like, you're always allowed to cross-examine robustly. That's like a part of the system. That's not a
Like,
remedy.
girl, you're not giving that to me. That's
Yeah,
yeah, that's her. She is just so ridiculous. I'm like, she acted like this was a trial on like a parking ticket and somebody was just being ridiculous and bringing witnesses and not like this woman's life is not the rest of her life is not on the
on the
line.
line. Yeah, and then the third thing was, oh gosh, what was it? Uh, that really I thought was pretty crazy. Oh, that the prosecution's own witness agreed that the classic explanation for O'Keefe's injuries was a slip and fall on ice.
Mhm. It's
Like
like,
his own witness that needed to say that it was definitely murder did not say that. It's
look,
like, well, how can they get clear of this?
no
Like,
injuries
crazy.
consistent with being hit with a car.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
that's right. He's been in
oh,
progress for like, but he said he had it and he didn't.
he said, I've
Um,
been working on it for 32 years. What are you talking about?
yeah.
Literally, they can't the to
Yeah,
mm,
and I mean, like, he seemed like he was probably still pretty qualified to give his opinion, but, like, once
you
you're
gotta
lying about your credentials,
they may
like,
throw it out.
you can't like, I can't really believe anything that you're saying at this point, even if you probably could still give the opinion based on your experience, so,
Yeah.
but I thought I didn't watch all of it, but the what I saw of it, I thought the defense, like, was a lot easier to follow and really just focused on creating reasonable doubt, of which there
Yes.
was
So much.
plethora, which
And
I
just
think was the
like
right strategy because it's just like,
just putting
regardless
up
of if
all the
you think she did
questions.
it, even though we all think she's factually innocent, she
Yeah.
could not be proven legally guilty.
No.
Like, could not.
Them reviewing just how they responded to the initial call, the lack of care, the lack of, security with the evidence, or I forgot.
The lack of interviewing everybody who was there
Yeah, and then
is
interviewing
crazy.
people like a year and a half later,
Yeah.
each other, how they were talking about her. So yeah, it was just like, can these people really have an unbiased investigation? Well,
No.
they didn't even do an investigation at first. They just were like, "Oh yeah, it's her."
Yeah. Yeah, it was snowing in
Oh.
Massachusetts, which, by the way, I've never lived in the Northeast, but I did spend a summer or, sorry, a winter in Chicago where it snows all the time. There is almost nothing that keeps you from doing anything if you are used to snow. Like,
Mhm.
they have those shovels, or they would have those plows out there, and like it could look like Antarctica at 5 a.m. and by
Nothing's cutting
6
them.
a.m. everybody's going to work. Like,
It's on the side. Let's go.
Yeah, oh my god, I cannot even imagine.
It's just insane that the amount of money. The amount of money. I feel like
So
the residents of the Commonwealth need to sue the Commonwealth.
I feel like they gotta get that Canton PD
PD.
situation figured out because it
I mean,
seems
they
like
gotta
it's
raise
bad.
that to the ground. But then
Yeah.
the state, who was the dude? Was he the like state police something? I think he was shady. It just seems like Massachusetts gets a good rap for being, a very blue state and having progressive things, but downfall in policing, are we surprised?
Well, there was a fascinating documentary on Netflix. It probably is still up there about how they had this huge this is probably in the like 2010s, a huge scandal about their drug lab testing for the state because one of their key technicians got addicted to drugs and was stealing from the samples. And so like every trial she'd testified in, they had to like
No.
yeah, it was like a whole it was a really interesting documentary. I would definitely recommend it.
If you remember what it's called, please tell me.
I don't, but I bet if you Google like Massachusetts State Lab
Hmm,
drugs
I will.
documentary, it'll come up.
Massachusetts State Lab
Oh
drugs,
my
documentary
gosh. Yeah.
scandal.
What I forget how to say this officer's name, but they are very particular about it. I can't remember if it's Dever.
I can't remember. The is it How to Fix a Drug Scandal?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna be watching that.
Yeah. It was
Just
really interesting.
while I remember off of a comment earlier where they said, "Oh, they don't wait. They can't even let a case marinate before making a docuseries." I didn't put any notes in here because it just keeps getting pushed back, but it made me think of Luigi Mangione and how I'm like, he has not even gone to trial yet. How is there already documentaries
And
on this
books.
case? And like, there's people on TikTok who are like talking about it, and like it says like sponsored. I'm like, y'all are disgusting. And I hate when people don't even say that. A lot of people will just like, I know it's become popular thing to say. I don't like it when people are like, we need another Luigi. I'm like, yeah, that man has not been proven to do anything. Stop saying that as if
Mhm.
he definitely did it.
Yeah.
I so yeah, but I haven't. Yeah, I didn't look up that one because the last thing I heard was they were trying to um I forgot something because they were saying his medical records were released
Mm.
illegally or something.
It's usually to the defense's benefit to go pretty to take your time. So it's probably good that it's
Yeah,
not
I just
going
feel
quickly.
for that man and his beautiful ankles.
I know, but I think he's like the king of the jail from
Yeah,
what it sounds
seems it seems the update seemed like he doing good.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is also where the Sandra Birchmore
don't
case
go
was. So
there.
basically just don't go to Canton. It doesn't sound like anybody's going to help
Stay
you.
away
Yeah.
because they
Uh
are
okay, Dever.
Dever. Excuse the
And yes,
name.
it is called How to Fix a Drug Scandal. Oh,
Okay.
that reminds me, when as our parting thing, I have a request of something for you to watch. Because I think it would be a good episode for us to do. I
Oh,
mean, sadly, it's
I
been
mean,
a
but
while.
they something happens, a case like this, the person dies. 2 weeks later, they're like Lifetime movie, Amazon, Netflix, ID channel. I'm like, God,
Interviewing their kindergarten teacher and their
yeah,
male person's secretary. Like, I don't even know.
people are so weird. Which I think. Did you have anything else on Karen Reed? Because I was gonna say that is a great
Uh,
segue into Brian Koberger because he.
oh, it is. I just will say, I think that this is a really great example of like why defenses are so important. And
Yeah.
even if you don't think somebody is factually guilty, think of or sorry, factually innocent. Think of how hard it was in a case that was this obvious
Mhm.
for somebody to be found not guilty.
Yes.
So I know that it's hard to like I can't imagine doing a defense attorney's job, but I
Uh-uh.
am very thankful for the work they do because like it's literally the only thing keeping
Yes.
people out
in
of jail that don't
this
belong
country.
there.
Just like
And
Natalie always says, "Oh, she's been in trial. I miss her."
I
Um,
know she said she's going to come back later this year, so
everyone deserves a robust defense,
totally.
and yes, indeed, they do, because especially when you got judges like Bev.
It was actually I saw her attorneys making the rounds afterwards, and it was like actually really beautiful to hear them talk about their teamwork and like how important this case was. And
Yeah,
I'm like, way to go, guys! I know you charge a shit ton of money,
yeah.
so it's not like they're of
Every
the
time I
people or whatever. But I appreciate their work and
yes,
giving defense lawyers, I guess, a good name in this case of like why they're important.
my mom's always like, "Why don't you go to law school? You like to read." One, that's not the kind of reading I like to do. But two, I could never practice law because I would be crying. I'd be like, "Your Honor," because when I get mad, I start to cry. I'd be like,
Me
"No,
too.
you don't understand my clients." They'd be
I
like,
don't think I could if I believed
you
my
girl,
client was factually innocent. I think
I
I
couldn't
don't
even
know how
afford
I
it.
could get I don't know how I
Like,
could
what
get
would
through like
you
a
follow?
closing statement about like and if you don't go back there and
Listen to the
find my
facts.
client innocent.
I beg of you. Like they would be like, objection. On your I'd be like, "That's okay, sorry, Your Honor."
I'm so sorry. This is not professional. I love this take. I think that that's spot on. Now, granted, based on what we saw in Sarah Boone's case, they will
Oh
spend a
god.
pretty penny on your defense, even in the public defender's
Yeah,
office. So don't.
yes. I'm
Uh,
serious. I would be a mess. Your mom.
I
Yeah,
would.
just a little quip, and they'd be like, "All right, you're out." I'm like, I take it back. I'm sorry. It was in the heat of the moment. I'm
Yeah, I just be. Think
looking
of
at
how hard it
everybody.
will be to make eye contact with me if you find him guilty.
Yes. Yeah. But yes,
But anyway,
robust.
speaking of inability to make eye contact or having unsettling eye contact,
Oh my god.
let's
When I
talk
looked
about
up,
confessed murderer Koberger.
what a disturbing individual.
Yeah,
Brian Kohlberger, the Idaho murders of those young
those
college
poor
students.
kids. Yeah,
I watched a video that was like basically a timeline reconstruction of it.
I think I saw. It was really good. Was it animated?
Yes.
Yes,
And I
I
was
thought that
like,
was really
because the
helpful.
outline of the layout of the house always confused
Never
me. And
made
so
sense to
watching
me.
that, I was like,
Yes,
oh my God. And just the
so helpful.
timeline of like how his car came in, I was like, sick. So
Yeah. Have you
he,
been watching stuff about all the documents that have come out? Because I
mm-mm,
haven't. Okay,
no,
sorry.
of
Continue.
what? Oh, I was just gonna say, so he was alleged to have murdered these four college students, and his trial. Why did he get pushed back? I forgot.
Well, I mean, they just had their normal motions, but
Okay,
he had lost his last
appeal.
ruling to push it out
Ruling.
again.
Okay, and
And I
he
with that, they basically knew
he
they were
pled
gonna lose.
guilty. Um, which they asked him, like, did you? Yeah, I didn't see that coming, but
Yeah.
he sat there and said yes that he killed them all.
Mhm.
And so, he'll die in prison because what did he get? 4 consecutive life sentences plus something else.
Yeah, I
And
think
I
he
will
got an attempted murder on or like
and like burglary.
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
forget. I mean, I
yeah,
I don't remember if he had attempted murder on the other two roommates, but I think they didn't, they should have because he would have killed them too if he had realized they were there.
yes, that layout and how that happened, I just was like, oh my God, and I just can't. It's just crazy. And then I guess I said earlier, what a segue of people being weird, because after it came out that he was pleading guilty, all these
Mhm.
people were like, "Oh my God, no, we deserve a trial."
Excuse me?
No, you don't. Like, we need to know. They need to make him confess. One, they can't make him say or like
No.
confess why he did it. Like
Well,
someone was
different
like,
states I think have different rules about what kind of allocution you have to have.
Mm.
If you like some states, I think you can make them
Like they have to tell you.
like at least at a high level what happened, but like they're not going to tell. He's not. They're like, we want to know why. There is no why that's
No.
going to make any
And what
sense
does
to
that
you.
do? What does that do if he tells you the why? What does that do? And I did see, I only saw one family. I think Kaylee Gonzalez's family or her dad seemed really upset that he pled out. And I understand. But obviously that's still, they still got to read victim impact statements, right? Because
I
I
did,
caught
and
a part of
I watched
one.
I watched all of them, and they were tough. Honestly,
And
the ones I thought were the toughest were the surviving roommates, and I'm really thankful they got to speak because
mhm,
there's been so much accusation about like why didn't they call 911 and like
yeah.
harassing them, and it was just really powerful for them to be able to talk about the impact it's had on them and like what they
I
thought was
think
going on that night, and
especially that,
it
I think
was
that
sad.
recreation is really good because,
Mhm.
and just like the time of night that it was, like I didn't realize how late, like the one she had ordered food and she was
I didn't
up and
realize.
like,
Yeah, yeah. I didn't realize. I guess I hadn't fully connected that there had been a party, and
mhm,
that's why they were up that late.
yeah.
Um,
I
yeah,
just the how quick it happened, the time of night, like you're not think I don't know what they people just expect, or I guess it's the whole thing of like I would have done this if I was in their shoes or something, how they did to their roommates, and I'm like, as if they're not grieving enough and or have survivor's guilt. Um, but the
well,
people
yeah,
being like demanding or not demanding, but thinking that wanting a trial, and I'm like, and so many people being like, it's better. It's everyone doesn't have to go through this. Families don't have to go through it.
yeah. And it is complicated because in this circumstance, there were a lot of victims and surviving family members, and like it was not possible for all of them to get what they wanted
Mhm.
because two of the families wanted to go to trial, two of the families did not. They wanted the deal. And then I'm imagining, based on what I've seen from legal commentators, I'm imagining one of the main reasons the prosecutors were willing to do the deal was because, well, two things. A, he waived his right to appeal. So now they don't have to get put through the rigmarole every however
You're trying
often.
to get, yeah.
And with the death penalty and like how that takes forever, but also the surviving roommates, like the trauma of them having to get up and testify and the whole, I mean, so I empathize deeply with the victims who were very outspoken that they wanted a trial, but I do think um probably in 20 years they may come to a point where they're thankful that that's not what happened,
Yeah.
or at least have peace about it. Maybe they can't get to a place of being glad that was the result, but at least having peace and less anger towards the prosecutors, because honestly there was no way to make everybody involved happy. So
No. Yeah. So many people involved, well, families. And then there are some people who are like theorizing. Exactly.
mhm. Well,
Um,
imagine like she said one of the girls was saying that she was always being teased for being a scaredy cat.
mhm.
Okay, so you hear weird shit and you're scared, you're trying to text everyone and you can't get a hold of people. And then you're sitting there thinking, like, "Ah, I'm just being paranoid. I'm not being, you're 19. Like, I want to be cool. I don't want people to think that I'm a
Mhm.
loser and call the cops when there's no reason to. I just will wait till the more." Like, I can totally empathize with what she
I
was
feel like
probably
this is a
thinking.
natural thing. You hear something, you're like, I do it all the time. I just hear a creak, and I'm all of a sudden, I'm not going out there. I'm just like, hold on,
Get
do
my knife, go to the kitchen, get my knife.
right here. Um, so yeah, I can't imagine that. But the people like the trial people are just weird. The whole, and to be fair, we're discussing cases here too, but there's a layer to it that I think people wanted. They wanted salacious details. They wanted, I think it's also people
Yeah.
who have weird fascinations with people who commit these crimes. Like they wanted to hear
Uh
it from him, and I'm like,
yeah, which I think
mm,
I yeah, I mean, like, I'm interested in true crime in the sense of the proceedings
yes, the
and
trial,
like what can be proven.
the law, yes. Yeah,
But
lawyers
I'm not that
and
interested in, like,
somebody just telling me the story.
or like, "I heard that so and so saw them at a pizza place and he was acting weird. That
Oh, yeah,
probably means
people,
this," or
when they
whatever,
start
like
their theories about, like, I'm like, "You don't." Yes,
exactly, yeah.
I'm like, "Huh?" And they're like, "It was a branch. Don't call us again."
Yeah.
But then I saw some people, like, theories to why he pleaded guilty, and someone was like, to save his parents from not being implicated.
No.
I guess he called his parents like an hour or something afterwards, but I'm like, I think they would have found information like if his parents had known and covered from him or something.
No.
I mean, I'm just
I
like, I
think
don't think
he was
there's.
getting a PhD in criminology. He understood once he lost that last ruling that they were going to go to trial, that he was
Mhm.
going to be convicted, and that he very likely was going to get the death penalty. So he
Yeah.
did a very rational thing, which was say, okay, I no longer really have any chance of prevailing in the trial. So let's get the death penalty off the table. Like, I really don't think it's any more complicated than that.
No, but Mara, if you don't speculate, how are they going to have content?
How are you going to get those clicks? Did you watch that artist on artist on artist panel I sent you? The true crime
Oh
parent.
wait, no, I need to
You
watch
don't
it.
have to, but it is very funny, and it's basically making fun of like the true crime podcast
It's
industry
probably
of
because
just like
it's so
like they
they're
start by being like, let's start by naming all of our sponsors just so that we can cover that.
I and you know, and I always want to speak my truth that I was watching Bailey Sarian on
I
Murder
get
Mystery
it.
Monday,
Yeah.
whatever what she
Yeah.
was. But then it started to, yeah, it's gotten weird when it's like, yeah, and the victims, it seems like untimely end came right after dinner, which is a perfect segue into HelloFresh, today's sponsors. Like,
I mean, I'm okay with that kind of gossipy, like the gossipy vibe for murders that are like very far in the past. So like if you want to have that vibe about like Jack the Ripper or
mm,
what was her name? Belle Gunnarsson? The one in Indiana, the female serial killer in Indiana in the teens or whatever. That's an
oh,
interesting one. Like
oh,
I'm more okay with that because nobody's families are still like their direct family is not alive. Like
mhm,
they are not alive. I'm more okay with that. But
yeah.
like if you've got families who are still grieving and living every day with the loss,
And then they have
it's
to
a
see
tough
your
vibe.
video.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
it's
seen
a
people.
tough vibe to, have cute nicknames and
Yes, I've seen people talk. I think that's what changed my mind. Is I saw people talk about, like, there was one. I think I can't remember if her sister's name is Sarah Turney, and she's always talking about her case. And she spoke about like watching people's videos on it and like getting stuff
mm,
wrong or like pretending they knew her and like just how some people like to embellish. She be like, she was all of this and like add this. Like, you don't know that.
you didn't know. Yeah,
You're just
yeah,
trying to fluff up your videos. So
yeah.
that
Um,
weird man is behind bars
he
in.
is. And actually, another one I didn't mention to you, but I'll quickly mention is that Stephen Stearns also took a plea deal to get rid of the death penalty and the death of Madeline Soto.
Oh, I didn't
He,
see that one. Oh
yeah,
my
he
lord.
was abusing her for a very
What,
long
12,
time.
10?
She had turned 13 the like 2 days before, and then he murdered her, and his statement was disgusting, and her mom did not show up to the sentencing, which I felt like was a real betrayal.
I hmm.
Yeah,
People and children, I just don't. Yeah.
no. But the rest of her family was there. Like she had very moving victim impact statements from her grandma and her cousins and her aunt, her biological father. So, oh, that one was really sad. I don't recommend looking into the details unless you're okay with
I
learning some really horrible
I will
things. But
pass.
that terrible human will be behind bars for the rest of his life.
Oh,
So that's good.
these people are so, they just,
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my I still am pending my like deep dive on abolition, but like that is the group of people that
Yes.
I'm like, what do we do with these people who are just like bad?
Yeah. I don't.
Like
I wish I had that answer.
like
The
let's say Karen Reed had accidentally killed John O'Keefe. I don't think that's what happened, but let's say that that's what had happened. Like I see the path for her rejoining society. You know what I
yes,
mean? Like I think that there is restoration and like reconciliation that could happen in a scenario like
yes.
that. But
But
like
other people,
I just don't see it for.
no, especially when it's been something ongoing repeatedly,
Mhm.
especially something with children.
Something
I
where you have something profoundly wrong with you at a base psychological level.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what I yeah. It
Yeah.
seems um
But the last one that I wanted to mention was that Lori Vallow is officially
Lord.
done with all of her trials.
Good God.
So she got extradited back to Arizona to face trial for the murder of her, I think it was her fourth husband, Charles Vallow,
Mm-hmm.
and then the attempted murder of her niece's husband, Brandon Boudreaux.
Oh, okay.
And got she petitioned and was successful in being able to represent herself. So it, as you can imagine, was an absolute shit show.
Was she
And
talking like this?
she wasn't
Just,
in front of the
just.
jury, and then she would change when they let. It was very interesting to see her turn it on and off.
Mm.
Um, she hated the judge. She tried to get him removed from the case. Judge Boreski, he's definitely one that would go on our judge tier list. He was trying to just like gray rock her and like be zen, but he just after a while like was getting his little dry snarky comments in. And she like it was a whole
Oh.
oh my gosh, it was a whole thing. But she was terrible at representing herself, but it did raise some very interesting questions about how she was ever found not fit to stand trial in Idaho. Like I'm really questioning that finding now because
Hmm.
now that we got to hear her talk more, like
Yeah.
yes, she certainly has some kind of religious delusion, but I don't think I don't think she's legally insane.
Yeah.
Like
She's not incompetent.
she knows what she did and thinks it was okay. Like
Yeah.
that's a lot of her. Yeah, oh yeah, he had her removed one time when she was getting really sass mouth with him.
Good.
um but like so now her whole narrative, and just everybody brace yourself and get ready to rage because this is disgusting. She now
Oh.
blames Tylee for everything. That's
Huh?
her narrative now. So in her narrative, Tylee was the one who came after Charles with a bat, and Charles accidentally got killed in the scuffle. That's so it's Tylee's fault that that happened. And then Tylee is the one who killed JJ and then killed herself. That's her narrative. So the whole thing, she kept calling it a family tragedy and that none of this is criminal. This is just a family tragedy. And I'm like, you are honestly the lowest of the low. Like, I think she's worse than Brian Koberger, honestly.
What the? So where does she, between Idaho and Arizona, where does she serve her time?
So she has 7 consecutive life sentences now
Dang.
because she also was convicted in Brandon's case. And that was the one that I wasn't totally sure
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't sure what the evidence was like, but they had good evidence about her conspiracy there and basically called Melanie, the niece, an unindicted co-conspirator. So like if Melanie better be watching herself
Ooh,
because uh it sounds like, I mean, Lori was convicted under that theory, so I think they probably could convict Melanie if
because
they wanted
Melanie was
to.
in their little weird cult thing, right? Like she left
Mhm.
to be with somebody else.
Yeah, and she basically, what the text messages suggest is that they were trying to get Brandon's money for her once they failed to get Charles's.
Ooh.
So it was pretty damning. Yeah, they had a lot more evidence in both cases than I thought they might, which honestly just makes me even angrier that they didn't arrest her initially for the murder of Charles Vallow. Like it
Mm-hmm. She got to be free for too long.
like yeah. I mean, the kids would still be alive if they had taken that more seriously, I think.
I
Because I
can't
think if
believe
she
it's
had been under investigation,
2025 and this. I mean, when did Charles die or was killed?
20 I think that was all in
Eight?
20 either 18 or 19, I forget.
The kids, I think, were killed in 2019. That's what I
Okay, so that's
remember hearing
Charles
about it.
too
It's
then.
crazy that
Yeah.
it's 2025.
Yeah.
And now I know things take time, but it's just crazy. Like I've been aware of this insane human being for this many years.
She is really cuckoo for coconuts, let me tell you. Like she is
I
she
bet she's gonna have a
she
little prison cult.
she
Just
is,
to
and this is
believe.
I think they gotta lock that down because she is in her fine. She's had a couple of statements um in court, and her final one at her sentencing was basically saying that in the Bible, Paul talks about how the prisoners will go free, and that Jesus is going to come and set her and Paul and all of the, or not Paul, what's his face, Chad, her and Chad and all of the other people who have been wrongfully convicted in the Idaho prison free. And I'm like, that sounds like a problem, Idaho. Like, I don't know what you're doing with her, but you need to make sure
Mm-mm.
she's not
Damn.
getting other prisoners.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So it was entertaining and maddening to watch.
Okay.
I'm very glad that everybody's now had their day in court and that there's been justice for Charles, because I just feel so bad for him. He tried so hard to get help in that situation, and I just feel like everybody failed him. So feel good that he has justice. Kay got to be, give her Kay Woodcock, JJ's grandma. Oh, and it was very sad in the sentencing. JJ's biological father, Kay's son, gave a statement, and it was really, I mean, they're all. It's like we've talked about it. If I follow a trial, I feel like part of the process is to listen to the victim statements, because it's an important part of keeping yourself grounded and the reality that people are impacted by these. And it was just really moving because he has spent time in jail, and he was speaking to her from the point of view of somebody who's also made mistakes and been in jail, and basically saying I know that you're going to have to think about this every day for the rest of your life. And it was really moving and really sad, and just a reminder that there is no such thing as justice, because the people that you love are still gone.
They don't get to come back just because someone has to serve. And for her delusional ass, she's probably like, I don't even know if it's something that weighs on her mind. I feel like she's but she's still like, okay, my next plan. Okay, I've got to do this. Like, I feel like she's plotting for her.
She's writing a book.
Oh God.
And I hope nobody buys it or reads it, because she just deserves. That was what the judge said in his final sentencing to her, was like, now that this is over, basically your infamy is going to be gone, and we just will move on and forget you.
Fade.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it that sucks, is that we remember these names, so we don't remember the victims. Like, you can say Ted Bundy and da-da-da, but the names of their victims are the ones that are forgotten, and I wish there was a way to reverse that.
I know. I know.
Ugh.
It's so sad.
These people.
So but if you want to see a Delulu person trying to be in court, it made me realize what we missed by not having Sarah Boone represent herself. I'll tell you.
Man,
I agree. I don't know why anybody would. It's because her lawyers wouldn't let her say the crazy shit she wanted to say. So
they're like, ma'am, no. She's like, okay, well, I will do it myself then. Okay. It is so dangerous, and I feel like I've seen multiple people say this about religious psychosis. Also, intimate partner violence escalate in times of economic turmoil, like now. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh God.
Yeah. Well, to bring it back to our roots, the Mormons do have a lot of weird culty things that are still going on right now. So I'm expecting, well, because there's the Corey Richins trial, there was that Colorado dentist thing. There's been a
Dennis,
few.
what? Mm.
Yeah, like
There's the problem is there's too many things going on. Just like there's the case, not little, in California, the little boy who they said the mom tried to say
yeah, it was
was
kidnapped.
kidnapped, but
hmm
now
His
they're
name Emmanuel, maybe?
Emmanuel Harrow.
Harrow. Yeah, yeah.
And the last thing I saw on TikTok was apparently that the husband had confessed to somebody who was like an undercover inmate or something, saying that they had done something to the baby.
Of course.
I'm just like, what's wrong with you people? I wanted to throw in here really quickly Diddy, which
Oh
made
yeah.
me really sad because he was facing so much and he got off on like the most important charges, but they just didn't have enough for the RICO charge. Like RICO is really
Yeah.
hard to prove, and
Yeah.
he was facing sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and he was only found guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, which each carry a max of 10 years sentence. But I don't feel like he's gonna get that. He's not gonna be sentenced till October 3rd. But I'm like, God damn it, man.
I'm really, it sounds like there were some weird things going on that jury.
Mhm.
Um and I feel really bad for Cassie.
Yes,
That's
to
kind of my
go
bottom line
what she
there.
went through initially, and
Yeah.
then for it to be then like the video coming out, then to sit through the trial while pregnant, and then all of the people online who like to, you know, oh, why is she saying
Oh,
this? I hate you people. Shut the
Ole has done some great coverage of the like
yes.
massage, you know, massage noir of it all. Highly recommend her coverage.
Yes.
Um, but yeah,
It's
he's getting off pretty light, and
I'm like, God damn it, you guys, you gotta take your time and you gotta make sure. I think, like, I don't know. I was it Natalie who was like, she doesn't think really like RICO usually applies that well now. Like, it's just so hard to
yeah,
prove all of that, like racketeering and stuff. I feel like,
it is. It's just,
yeah,
oh
what's the
yeah, I have heard about this, and I'm just not even gonna contemplate that. But like
oh,
the I will say, when we found out everything that he coerced her to do,
mhm.
it was on a level I wasn't expecting, and I just felt so terrible for her, and honestly felt like I wasn't grown enough to hear about some of the things that he was
Honestly,
having her do.
and yet people
Like,
are just like, and I think the whole like calling them freak offs, I feel like they got too much in the jury's head of like, these are just crazy things adults do. Like, no, that wasn't like she wasn't doing that consensually. I don't know.
I think they needed to really focus on like coercive control,
Mhm.
um, to really drive that home. But again, seemed like there was at least one juror who like it would not have mattered, basically.
It's so awful. I hate
Yeah.
it.
So fuck you.
You suck. And then I wanted to throw this isn't one we talked about before, but it's a case that I've heard about for years, and it's like 25 years old. But recently there's been like movement in it. And it's about Aisha Degree. Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
She was a 9-year-old girl who went missing in North Carolina. So yeah, 25 years ago, she just like left her house in the middle of the night during a storm for some reason and was like
Yeah.
with a backpack. She was like never, well, there were some witnesses that say they saw her walking along some highway
Hmm.
or maybe getting into this car, and she was never found. So I don't remember exactly how they found it, but last fall, like September, October, they found the car. They were doing a search at a home and found the car that people had described. Because I think a year after she disappeared, they also found her backpack, and
Mm.
inside of it had a t-shirt, and they finally did some DNA, and that led into some people. So they finally went to the property. I don't know what took them so long,
Okay.
but got the car. And so what happens, or what they're alleging right now, no one's been arrested, but what they think that
Okay.
happens is that family was, it was a parent and three girls, and they had like a nursing care facility, and they would let one of the daughters drive some of the patients from the nursing care facility to the hospital. She shouldn't have been, but in that
Mhm.
car along the same highway, and they think that she accidentally hit her and like pulled
Oh.
her body into the car, because there's like these weird text messages between the sisters of like, oh no, dad's going to be a huge suspect now. What's going to happen? Somebody allegedly came out and was like, years ago at a party when they were drunk, like they confessed to it, and
That
then the sister
always
was like,
happens.
shut up. So that was like last fall, all of that stuff coming out. So I'm like, what is it going to be? Because they still haven't like found her. But I'm like, I hope that her family can get like closure or something, because
Yeah.
25 years.
Oh my God. Yeah. I almost feel like if that was the situation, I almost feel like the daughter who did it, probably she's been punished just by having to live with that secret for 25
Yeah.
years.
They're thinking
Because
like
I can't
she accidentally
imagine.
hit her, put her in the car, and then like
Yeah.
hit her, which I can't imagine. But I'm like, I just hope they figure that out to close, because yes,
Yeah.
those cases like that, which I don't know. Have you watched the missing person cases? I feel like must. I don't want to say must be worse than knowing your loved one was murdered. Like, I'm
They
not trying
seem
to compare
pretty
that. But you just have
brutal.
no
Mhm.
closure, and there's always that like glimmer of
Always
hope that maybe
wondering.
they're out
Yeah.
there. Did you?
Ugh.
Because there's been a case on Netflix. I had heard of it, but it was like Amy Lynn Bradley. She went missing on a cruise ship, and like the Netflix documentary is really pushing a certain narrative, but it seems to make the most sense that she fell off that cruise ship or
Mm.
maybe jumped off. But like that family, that's been 20, I think 20 years, and they're still like
Ugh.
holding on hope.
Holding
They're
on
like,
hope.
they have like
Ugh.
her car that they still clean and
Like,
polish and keep running, waiting for her
ugh.
room exactly the same. And I'm like, I don't,
That's so heartbreaking.
yeah.
That is so heartbreaking. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't imagine just not knowing and like, I'm sure to give up hope feels like a betrayal to them,
Mhm.
but like,
Yeah.
that's so sad. Yeah. That's part of we did they he hasn't gone to trial yet. But the Rex Heuermann um
The Long
the Long
Island.
Island list, yeah, the Long Island serial killer. I'm so glad that they were able to identify some of those remain, like they finally figured out who the Jane Doe was, Peaches and
Mhm.
her daughter, and they released that. They've identified everyone except for the Asian male victim.
Okay.
Um, but I'm just so happy that those families at least look like, I'm pretty sure that I would say that the evidence so far against Rex Heuermann is pretty convincing in terms of the volume of DNA evidence that's involved. So he is alleged, but it is, I think, pretty likely that he will be
Is
found
there a
guilty. And
trial?
regardless, they kind of know what happened now, and that had
Yeah.
been like 30 years for some of those
Yes.
cases.
I can't, like, I hate stuff like that. And when there's a documentary or something, or you learn about it, and their loved ones, their parents, or somebody have like passed away not knowing. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, it just breaks my heart. Yeah, like Althea was saying that her, oh my gosh,
oh, yeah, just
not letting it
and
show
never
comments
knowing.
for some reason. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I can't imagine that must have been awful. And then just imagine years and years of that. Ugh, I just can't even imagine. It's so sad. Um, I have actually not been following, like I've been seeing the headlines on Donna Adelson,
What's
and it
that?
sounds like some crazy shit is going down.
I don't know this.
um, the Adelson in Florida, she's the one who they caught trying to flee the country to Vietnam. Um, and her, like it was basically a conspiracy between the mother, the daughter, and one of the sons to murder the daughter's ex-husband so that they could get full custody of the kids and
Oh
move them to
gosh,
Miami.
I have
And
not heard of this.
the son's already been convicted. The hitmen that they hired have been convicted. And then the daughter, Dan Markell. Sorry, thank you for reminding me of his name. He was a professor at FSU, I believe, a law professor. And so they're like halfway through their trials, and I will say I haven't watched it, but apparently her daughter Wendy, whose ex-husband it was on the stand and gave some very telling testimony and some of the questions from the prosecutor suggest that she is going to get charged. That's been kind of an open question, but yes, they did succeed. He was murdered, very sadly.
I had not heard of that at all.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, that's been a big one. It's one of those ones, sort of like the Lori Vallow situation, where there's a lot of people involved in it. There's been like multiple trials.
Oh my gosh.
And they got away with it for like a decade. So so it's been a whole thing, and I've not followed that one as closely, but I've seen some clips and I've been like, ooh, okay. Yeah, and it sounds like there's a lot going on in the trial itself that we're learning a lot more about what happened. Yeah, that one might be worth catching up on because I've heard it's pretty intense.
But up to Beth, I can't believe they put Ghislaine, or whatever her name is, I don't care, Ghislaine, in Texas. Work release. Where?
In your oh my god.
She's at the same
weird political move too.
Elizabeth Holmes and Jen Shaw from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. What a prison.
What a prison. They need to embed somebody in there and do a documentary. I'm shocked. Like, also just the political optics of that is very strange. Very strange.
We're in strange times.
Oh, wow. Somebody was at FSU when he passed, man. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was not aware, and now I might, because there's nothing else. There's no there's no active cases that
we're following. Yeah. So Sarah Boone just had her family court case last week.
What was it for? Like, is she trying to get visitation of her son in prison?
She is out of her mind. I know I've gone on Sarah Boone too long. I'm not going to do it again, but I'll just tell you that, like, from what people went to it, it wasn't live streamed, obviously, and then also I don't think there's an official transcript, but from the unofficial transcripts I've heard, she is just so delulu. It's not even, she thinks she's going to get alimony. She did graciously lift her request for child support, considering, she's in prison and can have no physical custody of the child. But
she's going to get alimony on her books.
Well, she wants it paid in $100 increments for the next 30 years so that she doesn't have it taken from her. So,
well, how else is she going to get Dr. Pepper?
Yeah. No, it's like honey buns. She needs them. She classified those as medicinal snacks.
Honey bun.
She needs it for her blood sugar.
They're playing.
Let's see. Remember the services and memorials. So that's so sad. Yeah, I think for a while they got away with it for good.
That's crazy. It floors me that, like, I know all the, like, cop shows and stuff are based on a lot of things that have happened, but, like, the murder for hire thing, I don't know why that one, but I'm just like, what? Well, like, find somebody go on Craigslist. How do you find that?
What was her name? Do you know about that one with the Dalia DiPolito? Do you remember that one where
that one sounds familiar?
She tried to get her ex-boyfriend
Miami.
Yeah, like, or some, like, Boca somewhere. It was like so far South Florida that it became Yankee again.
Yeah.
It was one of those. And yeah, that one was wild. They
Yes, I
had her
remember.
on tape.
These people, I don't understand. I'm afraid of I'd be like, oh my God, was there a camera at that light? I was in the middle of the intersection and it turned red, but it was yellow when I crossed the line, and
I
I'm worried
know.
about getting a ticket in the mail.
I was freaking out and about that, and Bess was like, "You do know that in Tennessee they've ruled that they can't do anything with that traffic light stuff, right?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
No,
No, I didn't know that. Okay.
no, like no, I just people sometimes I've had this conversation with Andrew. I'm like, do you think that people are just like inherently good and something goes wrong, and people are inherently bad and make this, or like, I just don't understand. I think this thought I've had it for a while, but it also has just been exacerbated by the current political state, like seeing how many people
Mhm.
voted for this, how people are acting. Like, I don't, because to me, it seems natural to be like, this is I want this good thing. Like, let's reproductive care.
Mhm.
I want that for other people, even if that did not affect me, or
Yeah.
rights for queer people.
Or
And I'm
like
like,
schools. I never wanna have kids, but I
yes,
believe in funding schools. Yeah.
yes, I want them to have free lunch. Yes, that money should
Yeah.
go to children. And but that's just not a common thing for people to be like, well, it's not going to affect me. I'm just like, what do you mean? So I'm just like, are just people just suck, and then some people are good. Like, I don't know.
I think that it's less of the good and I don't know. I've been having a lot of similar thoughts recently. Um, and I'm moving towards a view. Well, first of all, I've been listening to a lot of Behind the Bastards, which has been extremely depressing but very
What's
interesting.
that?
It's a podcast about all the worst people in history.
Oh,
So like, you know, Kissinger, multiple Nazi ones,
mm,
the British invasion of Ireland. Like, I mean, just all the, But anyway, one of my takeaways from listening to all this, which is very interesting but very depressing, has just been I think it's less that people are good or bad, and I think people are either pro-social or anti-social, and
mm.
like that pro-social instinct that I do think most people have to like care about other people, I think is just very easy to manipulate to define like the other people in your society so narrowly that it excludes a lot of people, and that is really depressing.
I I just, and I'm
Oh,
not.
I need to listen to the Dobson one because oh my god,
What's the
Reston.
podcast called again? These
Uh,
bastards,
it's
or
called Behind the Bastards.
okay, who are the
And
dog?
most of the episodes, so all of the episodes are on YouTube. A lot of them don't have video, but the more recent ones do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can recommend for the recent ones, the Adolf Eichmann four-parter was depressing but good, like great. And then the Pol Pot one was really interesting. That was a three-parter, and I didn't know much about him as an entity.
Of
But it was
who?
Pol
Pot?
Pot, the dictator who perpetuated the Cambodian genocide,
Oh.
and just like understanding his motivations was really actually maybe if you're interested in like some of their more typical ones, the Adolf Eichmann four-parter was really good, and they do have tons of different videos about fascism and Nazism. Oh god, okay. But the Pol Pot one was 4 episodes or 3 episodes, and a good
Okay.
example of when they tell you about things you didn't know about in history, kind of a thing.
Okay.
Um, but definitely recommend that. So anyway, I just think it's like it's less good and bad and more like pro-social,
Mm,
anti-social is kind of where I'm starting to land at. And that
yeah.
the pro-social instinct that I do think most people have is very manipulable.
Yeah, it is. And like, because I'm not a perfect person, right? Like, there was a thread, and it was like, what is something that like annoys you, but like it goes against like your liberalness or something. So
Mhm.
somebody was like an example was, I want equal access for all these things, but I do wish there were less people in the Delta Lounge, like stuff like that. Like I have little petty things
Yeah,
where I'm
exactly.
like, yes, I want people to be able to blah blah blah, but can you just not be here when I'm here? Like I'm a
Or I
normal
wish that
human.
there were enough different Delta lounges for all of us so that
Yes,
they was not crowded.
yes. I'm like just stuff like that, but I just don't.
I like this of I don't want universal health care, but I'll fund my neighbor's GoFundMe because I don't know where the money's going. Well, it's like you don't have to worry about it because it's just going to go to everyone.
Yes, I. It's just like, oh, so you just want to have a universal basic income? Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. Like when people say ridiculous things like, "What? So people shouldn't have to work and just get health care?" Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just,
actually, yeah, I do think that it should not be tied to your employment.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
just
It's
need
all,
somewhere to live. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
I do think that. I don't. I understand how
I
it's
know- none of us
manipulated.
has to be here. So we should just have
Yeah,
like some
come on, let's.
basic needs met.
Yes, we're in
And
a
then there's
floating
always going to
rock.
be a workaholic who wants to go,
That's
really
the
kill
thing
it
people don't
somewhere.
understand. There are people who love to work, not me,
Yeah.
but there are people who love to work, or people who would enjoy simple things because it gives them some structure, routine. Who would like I would like to stock shelves at a place, or just stock books at the library, do something. Some
Yeah.
people enjoy being a bartender or a barista,
A
but some people
cat
don't do
sitter.
those because you can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't pay well. It's like people
Yeah.
would like to do
Plenty of
all
people,
sorts
yeah.
of
There's
things.
there's wonderful, good, worthwhile service jobs or just like
Yes.
task jobs that people would enjoy doing
Yeah.
if they didn't have to worry about it meeting their needs. Yeah, totally.
So
Yeah.
but I hate, but what you say, it makes sense. I see how, I both can see how people are so manipulated, but then like, unfortunately, my third eye has been open for too long that I'm like, why don't you see that they're manipulating you?
Would you say that you're awakened and therefore woke?
I am, and I wish I could go to sleep
I know,
every
right?
day. I
Like
realize ignorance
you're
is
insulting
bliss.
me for being woke, but let me tell you,
Yeah, I
it
don't
was
want
a
to.
lot easier beforehand.
I want to be sleep. Close this. I want to just be like, well, I mean, if that's what they're saying, that the tariff thing just must be good for the economy, and it just, like, all the countries not shipping things to us is both a large concern and also not the number one concern, but it also is very concerning because America doesn't make
Mm.
much. Like I was
Well,
talking to my friend earlier, and I was like, I don't know what I own that's made in America.
I just got a bunch of yarn from I think Norway, and
Lucky.
this is like the last batch of them shipping
Yeah, because my friend
before.
was she was gonna order some yarn, I think from Denmark, and she was like, they're not shipping here anymore. I put in a last emergency order of Korean sunscreen. I hope it gets here. But I'm like looking around at things and like, this is made in Japan, this is made in China.
Yeah,
Like I'm like, what do I have that was made in America? I don't think anything besides me.
I know.
And I wish
I
I
know.
wasn't.
Well, I'm gonna honor my timer
Yes.
because I'm having some issues. But before I let you go, have you watched the show Couples Therapy?
Okay, no, but I want to. And then
Okay.
every time I want to, I realize I don't have Showtime. And then I get sad. And then I see a clip. And then I do go through the process again.
So Paramount Plus also has it. So if you
Okay.
want to sign up for a free month of Paramount Plus, you could
Okay.
binge it. Because I think I think we could do a fantastic episode on couples therapy
Okay.
because I've been rewatching it recently.
How many seasons are there?
There's 4 seasons, and I think that we should do if we got to do the 4th season because I have to talk to you about Boris and Jessica. Like I gotta talk to you about Boris. You need to watch all of it, but like I must talk to you about Boris if you can find it in yourself to scrounge up a free month somewhere. Because my God, there is so much to discuss. So
Okay.
I'm officially petitioning you and requesting you to consider trying to find a free month of Showtime
Okay.
or Paramount Plus so that we could then have an episode about couples therapy, because
I
it
will
is
put that.
so messy and there's so much going on.
I'll put that on my list because I'll see like people will put parts on TikTok and I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And then I'm mad because I go look and I'm like, damn, I can't watch it.
Well, let me tell you, there is a couple who were former Mormons, and that's part of their conflict is like rebuilding a marriage outside of the church. So yes, all roads do lead back to Mormonism.
Everything leads back to Joseph. At some point, we have to make a T-shirt.
Yeah.
For our pilgrimage. One day we're gonna go. We're gonna be up in Salt Lake. I mean, the mountains look beautiful.
It looks like a beautiful place. It really does.
It's just got some interesting folks in there.
It surely does.
Okay, I'm adding it to my list.
Okay, yes. So everybody, highly recommend. My favorite couple is I think they're in season 3, and it's a lesbian couple reconnecting with each other. It's very interesting because there's a range of couples. Some of them are like, oh, there's a lot of love here and a lot of goodwill, but like you guys just need to kind of like work on a couple of things to get back on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are like, okay, these are like pretty intense problems, but like I see a path where you guys are going to work this through. And others, it's like, oh, y'all should not be together. like Dr. Ernest, she can't tell you that, but I could, and I would tell you that this needs to end.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to find it or look it up so I can see if I can get a free trial and get Invention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, my friends. Well, thank you for watching and riding with us on our Docket update.
Yes.
Maybe a couples therapy video coming soon. Maybe a cave video, a diving video.
Do you think that not to try to keep you here longer, but that lady on the mountain that I sent you, do you think she's still alive? The one that was like, I was like, I don't think she's.
No, she's been out for you will do good to survive one night out at that altitude.
Yeah, they're like over a week.
No, she's long gone.
With a broken leg?
No. R.I.P. But the mountain.
Sorry, girl.
I mean,
her husband and her.
Our natural predator strikes again. You walk directly into the mouth of the beast.
A cave episode. We'll have to do that.
Yeah.
So you'll know when we know.
You'll know when we know. Because Jess texted me, I think, yesterday and was like, do you want to do this? I was like, sure, let's do it. Okay, everyone. Well, we love you, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.